Shalom, Israel. This is from heaven, and this message is from my heart, and just was laid on my heart and on my mind at the moment. I don't know how it's going to come out, if it's going to come out to where you understand it or clear enough, because I do have an issue with stuttering and remembering my words. But I'm just going to say what's on the top of my head. And the verse of the day is Psalms 34, verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. But a contrite spirit is an attitude of deep remorse and humble submission to God. So, God, He is nigh to those with a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. So God will save you if you are humble, if you are remorseful. And we are to be remorseful for our sins. We are to be humble throughout life, with anything, whether the good and with the evil as well. So whatever God gives to you, you are to have a contrite spirit. Whatever God takes from you, you are to have a contrite spirit. And this is not easy. It may sound easy for when you lose, you're already being humbled. But sometimes when we lose something, it can cause our hearts to become hardened. It can cause our hearts to grow bitter. And it's not God causing our hearts to do that. It's our own choice. And you have a choice to make when God takes something away from you. You have a choice to make to stay down or to get back up again and keep fighting. And staying down is not going to fix your life. And how God created the world is something that I had to realize. So speaking on it, loss. When I lost my father, it made me realize life. And I know this sounds so funny, but it made me realize how the world really is made on this earth. Everything has a time of being here, and everything has a time of leaving, even ourselves. And if we don't get through one thing, we're not going to ever be prepared for the next thing that's going to come, because there's always going to be a next thing, if you get what I mean. So life is what it is. You enjoy what you have, and for as long as you have it. And that's why you treat everything and everyone right, because even yourself, you got to do right by yourself, because one day you will have and one day you won't. But one beautiful thing that I found about this life, when I think about the next life, when I think about how it is for a righteous servant, someone with a contrite spirit, somebody who is humble, somebody who keeps believing on God, that you never lose anything at all. Everything is going to come back to you, even if you feel like you lost it now, even if you don't have it right now, because this life wasn't meant to last forever. So for a wrongdoer, for a sinner, yeah, it may be whatever you had on this earth, you'll never see it again. Anybody that you knew before, you never see them again. Because in the next life, you're not going to have anything. You're going to go to the fire. You're going to go to the worstest place, worser than this earth. You're going to go through worser things that you never could imagine. But that's the fate of a wrongdoer. That's not the fate of a believer. So if you are a believer, then why are you treating life like everything is temporary? Like God, He gives you these good things and He's not going to give you it back. Everything does belong to God. But God works in this way, as He did with Job. He tests you with loss. And it's not anything that you have to do. So it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. It doesn't mean that God is turning His back on you. It doesn't mean that God lied. It's just a test for you. It's just another trial. It's to see, are you still a believer, even when you don't have these things? Even when everything is gone away from you? Are you still going to call on him? Do you still love God? Or one of the, greatest questions that I've asked myself before. Are you loving God just because you feel comfortable in your life? You feel like you feel comfortable in the things of this earth. Then are you really loving God? Are you really having faith in God that way? Because why is it that you lose it? Why do you question God once everything is gone? So we were never to live for the things in this world. And we are supposed to be focusing on the next life. And yes, we can cry. Yes, losing anything or somebody is heartbreaking. It's not to say that you'd ever get over it. It's not to say that, like a heartless thing to where you just go past it. You don't cry. You don't have emotions. You're just strong. Even the prophets, they weren't strong. They were only strong because God gave them that strength. Because they called on God. God is the one that made them strong. But they felt. They were human, just like us. They had emotions. They had feelings. Even about the people who rejected the message when they were preaching the message, they had feelings about these things. There was a lot of things that bothered them. There's a lot of things that hurt them. There's a lot of things that they were confused about. But God made it clear to them. Because they held on to God, because they kept their faith. And they chose not to stay down. They chose to keep going. And maybe because they understood life and how life works. Revelation 21 verse 4. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So this is one of God's promises to his servants, that death is not going to last forever. You get that one time where you do have to die, where you do have to meet God. But then there is this place that I believe is true, which is paradise, heaven. And all the believers, those who believe in God's word, knows it's true. That none of these things are going to happen. In paradise, death is not going to happen anymore. It's not going to be sorrowful. It's not going to be painful. Then we have to ask ourselves the question, like, why are we striving for a world that was meant to fall apart one day, that was meant to end? Paradise wasn't meant to end. It's everlasting. And that's what we should be working for. Even though we do give up hope. And I've been in a position like that many a times. Of giving up hope. Of wanting to just lay down and not do anything with my life. Just lay down and sleep. Lay down and just let the days go away. Not want to face anything. I just felt tired of everything. Not want to cope with anything, just want to block it all out. Just tired of hearing the bad news, tired of being in a bad position. Just tired of losing, whether that was things or people. Just tired of seeing other people hurt or in pain. There's a lot of things that we get tired of. Just tired of it all. Tired of fighting. You just want to throw your hands up and give up. But inside of you is God's voice that we need to listen to, that keeps calling us back to have faith. God gives us signs in the littlest things to have faith. The smallest things. And what really helped me in my life is looking at things as a sign. Some things are right in front of your face, but sometimes you don't notice it because you don't understand what it is. You don't understand this is a confirmation from God. This is a sign from God. This is a warning from God. And it could be in the smallest things. And even through it all, one of the greatest things to realize is through all the hurt and pain that you went through in your life, or you're going through in your life, some way or another, God is still helping you get by. You don't even realize it, because I know we get so engulfed in the things that we don't have or the things that's not happening that we forget that God has been here for us all the years of our lives, and he's been helping us, and he's still helping us. He's still there. Even if it's a little bit at a time, God never promised you that he'd help you with everything at once. He just said that he's going to be there, that his presence is going to be there, that his help is going to be near to you. He is going to help you somewhere or another. So God is helping you get by. And yes, it's hard to wait. We do run out of patience. We do start doubting. But we have to realize that the wait is good, because it's teaching you something. It's teaching you patience. It's forming you to be a better person if you let it. If you don't go against the process. If you let it be, it's molding you to be more humble. It's molding you to call on him more. It's molding you to look towards God, because then sometimes it feels like that's all you have, because truthfully, all you have is God. Everything that God gave you is his. Once you turn your back on God, you have nothing. So we need to give our faith to God. We need to have trust in him. Psalms 147 verse 3. He healeth the broken in heart, and bindeth up their wounds. So we know that healing, it takes time. But God is going to heal you. God is going to heal your wounds in time, in due time. And God's promise is always going to come to pass. God is not going to waste any of your good deeds or anything that you've done that was right. Anything that you've done. And anything, that you want that is good. God will give it to you if you have faith. If it is good for you. See, God, sometimes he knows, all the time. He knows what is good for you, and sometimes you don't even know what's good for yourself. You don't even know, what's best for you. And I would say lessons, it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Even though it doesn't feel like it in the moment, but you'll see that sometimes God takes one thing away for you to have another thing. Sometimes God pushes one thing out of the way so you can get an understanding, so you are able to resolve a matter, so you are able to see something you weren't able to see before. And then God will give you something to, even if it doesn't fill the void in your heart, he'll give you something or somebody to comfort your heart. And I do know this is not just bullcrap that I'm just saying, or just random stuff that I'm just saying. There's nothing that I went through. These are different things that I learned and went through not that long ago, which is when my father passed. I learned a lot of lessons, and I'm still learning to be more humble. I'm still learning. God is teaching me a great lesson. But through it all, it's making me stronger. It's making me a better believer. It's making me have more hope and faith, because the more that I go through, the more that I lose, the more I realize that God will give to me. The more that I realize God will take care of me, and the more that I realize that I'm not, alone in this world. That God sees me and he knows exactly what I'm going through, and he's always going to be there for me and on time, even though if it's not on my time. He knows the right time to help me and my whole family. And there's been plenty of times, recent and before, almost out on the streets, and God helped. Didn't have nothing to eat, and God helped. Didn't know what was going to happen, and then God comforted our hearts. And I'm just saying, God will comfort yours. Don't lose faith and don't give up hope. Don't feel lost. Keep loving. Please, and one thing, don't ever let your heart do. And this is from experience as well. Don't ever let your heart become bitter. Don't ever grow bitter. Don't push people away because of what you lost. Because what you went through, because of what you're tired of, because of certain people in your life, how they treated you. You never push people away. Don't become a selfish person because people are selfish. You keep giving. You keep being a kind believer no matter how many times the dogs bite your hand. You still give because you love, because you understand the position that people are in. And yes, you always be cautious. You always learn from situations. So I'm not saying trust people wholeheartedly. I have learned a big lesson like that. You be too trusting, you are going to get hurt. Your hand is going to get bit. But that doesn't mean that you cannot still be cautious and be kind at the same time. You cannot be cautious and still love. You can do both. Trust. You can still love, but you do have to use your common sense. You still have to be careful. It can't be where somebody, they aggressive, they hurting or harming you, and then you keep letting them in because, they're in a bad situation or, they're homeless or going through something. And so, gotta let them in and you know what they're capable of. It's just like letting somebody around your children that might hurt your children or off them. You still gotta protect those kids. You still gotta protect yourself. So I'm not saying anything ignorant like that. But I'm just saying, if you see somebody out on the street struggling, don't be afraid to give. If you see somebody going through, don't be afraid to, help them as much as you can. Don't be afraid to admonish, to reprimand. Don't be afraid to be kind because you're scared to be broken again. Because you think, everybody's stupid, or you want to block the word out. You just want to finally for people to treat you right. Finally, you need to take what's yours. And you're tired of being ran over. You're tired of going through. And so you just block the world out. You block people out. Trust me, that's just going to end you up in more misery than you need. And you're not going to be happy, especially if you're a good person. Your heart is not going to even be happy with that. It's not even going to allow you. You're just going to ruin more things. So there's one example that I want to give, which is, I don't want to say exactly, but someone that I once knew that is not here anymore. They went through a lot. They lost children. They lost their parents. They lost their husband to death, but they still smiled so much. They were so bright, so giving. They take people in, fed the homeless, gave them water, gave them clothes, let them take a bath in their very own house that I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even tell that she went through any of that. And I don't remember so clearly because I was just a child. My whole family remembers, and I remember her sweet smile. And that motivates me. She was such a prayerful woman, so strong in her prayer that I believe her prayers came true. She was so faithful that I believe God answered her prayers. She was just held on to God. She kept a smile. She still loved. And I just want to tell you, Israel, that is the greatest gift you can have. Happiness is a way to freedom. Love and peace is a way to freedom. When nothing in the world can stop you from loving, when nothing in the world can stop you from your happiness or take that away from you, when nothing in the world can take away your peace. And trust me, there is a point in getting to that. It's when you get in the spirit and you stay out of the flesh, you will experience that. To where everything wrong can be going wrong in your life. But then you still love, you still will have peace, you still will feel joy in your heart. So Israel, this is the message of today. And I just want to say, God bless you. Keep being strong. Keep being strong, Israel. There is something to live for. There is something to fight for. And if there's anybody you lost or anything, they want you to keep fighting. They want you to be strong. Imagine if it was you and you can see somebody down here on this earth from heaven. You'd want them to be strong and not quit because of you. You want them to keep living their life. So peace out. Love you, Israel.